everybody, and welcome to Coffee Chat with, here's my coffee, with Jeanie and Cindy.
Can I tell you that I actually have iced tea in here because it's so dadgum hot in Texas? Of course, it's never too hot for coffee.
That's right.
But
we're going to call this Welcome to Caffeine Chat. Today we're going to be talking about God's faithful servants, which are the animals, and the title of your husband's book
is Animals, God's Faithful Servants by Dr. Joe King. And just so, and I will just be reading some of this and telling you, but you can't get this on Amazon. He had these published by a private publisher who the guy went out of business many years ago. So we have all these hardback books that are 20 bucks, but they're fantastic. But so it's very interesting. There is something going on with animals now that they, spend so much time with humans. And, people even refer to them like my fur babies and all of that. My husband's a veterinarian, so, we always have animals around us.
Right.
And there is, there have been many studies that, in fact, there was a Russian study about these foxes that were, they said that they were wild foxes. They really weren't, because they were raised on this farm in Canada. Mm-hmm. And they were they were domesticated. And so they took on like all kinds of features that people have. But I was thinking about I grew up with like Lassie, that could read, his mind, and Flipper, and even Mr. Ed, and, all of these TV shows that had animals. But if you go back into the Bible, which is what my husband did, he wrote this book. He is a veterinarian. Before that, he had gotten his doctorate in theology, and he was a minister. And so when he wrote this book about animals having souls, and we know they do, and he started being interviewed on radio, and the Baptists at that time were not having animals with souls. Oh, no. And he got kicked out. And so, but, it doesn't make it any less true. But it's very interesting. In Genesis, it talks about how God created the animals and the creatures first, and then created mankind in our own image. But it does say too here, and I just want to say something because this is so fascinating, is that it says in Genesis, I just wear these for looks, like when I want to look.
They make you look smart.
What?
They make you look smart.
They make me look smart. Well, God knows I need that. That's for sure. But it talks about how animals, hold on just a second. Of course. Okay, in Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 3, 19 through 21, the fate of the sons of men and of beasts are the same. All go to the same place. They all go to the heavenly realms. It's in the Bible, okay? And it talks about Balaam's donkey who saw the angel of the Lord and spoke out, and then the owner, the angel of the Lord had to drag him off because he started beating the donkey. It was because he was so threatened by this donkey being able to see this. But, all throughout the Bible, you have the ravens, you have the doves, you have the fish, Jonah and the whale, you have Jesus being born in a manger with all the animals around, and the cock crowing that, was for the betrayal of Jesus. And the whole text in the Old and New Testament is so interesting about the role of animals. One thing that I'm going to say about this book too, and I'm not necessarily selling it, but if anyone wants it, they need to contact me, and you can text me at 325-215-9070. 325-215-9070. and we can get you one of these books. But in the back, what Joe has done is he has written a whole bunch of ceremonies, how to welcome a pet into your household, how to pray for pets and animals, and how to comfort them. There are funeral services for pets that everyone can participate in. It is really extraordinary.
Wow.
So I love this fact that you know, and I know, and many people know, it's like we think of something and our dogs, I mean, it's like they read our minds. And there have been studies done where like an owner, if you will, has a dog or dogs at home. I'm just familiar with dogs more than cats, but they may take a different route home, or they may be coming home at a different time, but it's like they're connected, and the animals go and wait at the front door, even though it's not the regular time.
I had one that did that. My little Yorkie used to do that.
Yeah, little Ginger. Yeah. And it's so interesting. But following that, and like we were talking on another coffee chat about how everything is connected in the matrix, and we think of something that comes to us. So my sister said that she was at her doctor's office this morning just for her regular, visit. Nothing was wrong. And the nurse was showing her picture of her 6-month-old baby. And this baby is like, holy cow. I mean, 6 months old, and he's sitting up, and my sister said, yeah, my grandson is 1.5 years old, and he's like riding a little bike. Now he's not totally riding it, but he's like, I was like, really? 1.5 years old? And he's got that balance and stuff. And the nurse said, well, my doctor told me that babies are now being born without wisdom teeth. And I said, what? I said, I didn't know they had wisdom teeth. And she said, well, they are being born without the capacity to have wisdom teeth. And so I looked it up because I thought, I've never heard of that. And sure enough, there was a study done in Australia, Cindy, that is talking about how we have developed. And they call it, I just want to tell you what it's called here. It's called microevolution in humans. So what they're saying is now our heads are becoming shorter, our jaws are becoming smaller and weaker because we're not, eating like, all of that. But that's why the wisdom teeth, most people have to have the wisdom teeth pulled because they serve no purpose. But here's the other fascinating thing. I just want to get this right. That there is also, many children are being born with an extra artery in their forearms. We don't know why. And they also are being born with extra bones in their legs and their feet. Now, okay, I have no explanations for that. I really don't. But all I can tell you is, something's going on here. And our babies, and you've seen this, and I've seen it, and our children, we kind of laugh because we say, they're born with an iPad or a cell phone in their hand, but they get it. They are tuned in, tapped in, and oftentimes I'm like hitting a wall with something, and I'm like, I need a 3-year-old to explain this to me. But I know you've seen this with your grandchildren too.
Absolutely.
They're extraordinary, aren't they?
They really, really are. The way they're tuned into life, the way that they're tuned into love. It's very interesting because we had talking about love, that energy of love.
Yes.
I mean, how can you do better than a dog? Really?
Absolutely.
And a loved dog will give you everything. It's an unconditional love. And it's always interesting how the word God backwards is dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There are dogs who are trained to detect a stroke before it happens, or a drop in blood pressure, or a diabetic seizure. And they know. I mean, and they will wake up the person, or they'll take care of him, or, whatever. And so it's just, but it seems to be all living things right now to me. It's like we're evolving in a way, and I don't mean Darwinian evolution because a lot of that has been debunked. However, I think that we are evolving on a new pathway, and it's the level of understanding, the communication, the wording. I read something the other day. A Facebook friend of mine said that she was teasing her like 7-year-old grandson or something and saying he swallowed watermelon seeds. And she said, "Oh, you're going to have a watermelon growing in your stomach." And he went, "I'm not." He said, "There's no sunlight in there." He said, "What did you learn in college?"
How old was this child? Oh my
Like, oh boy. Well, that
Yeah.
college education didn't do me much good if I don't know that they need sunlight to grow. Isn't it funny?
It also brings to mind how programmed we are and how
Yeah.
we need to be flexible in our understanding of things, because small children are not programmed yet, and they have
No.
this amazing wisdom. It's a natural wisdom that connects them to earth and to people and to love. And
Mhm.
that's what we are evolving into, is with our new earth, is the energy of love dominating everything.
Mhm.
And that's what animals are naturally. And so
Well,
that's very
babies and animals, they can pick out good energy and bad energy. I have a friend who's written a number of books, and she's got a farm. And anyhow, her name's Renee, and she's a fantastic farmer, and she's also a novelist and has written a number of books. But she said that she's got this dog now, Lexi, and she said they were out, and Lexi was just like all hackles up and stuff. And she said, I knew it was because she was sensing the bad juju of this person who had walked up. And it was like, yeah, they know.
They
They,
absolutely know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I just will encourage people that, Cindy, if you have room in your heart and in your home, to take in a dog or a cat, go to the rescue shelter, go walk around, sit in front of the cages, and, see who you connect with, because they will bring a lot of joy into your life
Exactly.
and a lot of healing too.
They are the cure for loneliness.
It is. Well, I came back after having surgery recently. It's been 2 months ago that I had my surgery, and I'm doing very, very well. But, we've got 2 dogs. We've got a little border collie, and I mean, she's just like, she is not going to let anybody near me, tip. And the other one is kind of a doofus dog. She's a part Irish Wolfhound, and she's a rescue. But I mean, she is like all over it. And so both of them are, but so the Irish Wolfhound will come and she'll just lay her big head like on my lap, just when she knows that I just need, I'm hurting or whatever. And, you can't make these dogs do that. You can't, and babies too, and children. I mean, pay attention. If children have a visceral reaction that's not good, you need to pay attention to that because they're sensing that.
And cats will also, they're funny. I love cats.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're
I'm
not,
allergic to them. So I don't spend
and so
time.
it's Vanessa. So we don't have any cats in our family right now.
Mhm.
But the thing about cats, somebody said it well. They said dogs are eager to please uh, to humans, and cats see humans as the help, right?
Yeah. I've seen this. It says dogs have owners and cats have staff.
Yeah, exactly. However, when a cat senses that you are in that place, they will show up for you. They will.
Oh, I believe that.
So,
One of the things, as we're wrapping this up, one of the things that I do talking about babies, oftentimes, you'll be in a store, especially a grocery store, and a mom is, she's a young mom, she's got 1 or 2 or more kids, and, someone's crying in there. And I always make it a point to go over to where that crying child is, and I just send out like light from all of my energy centers, my chakras. I just send it, and it's kind of like this big fountain of light, and they can see it.
Sure
And
can.
they'll just like look and like, wow.
Sure.
And then what I do to the mom is I always go, you know what? Yeah, or the child that's crying, I'll say, you know what? I feel like crying too. Let's go take a nap, but I'll tell the mom, it's so hard to be a mom. And I just want to tell you that you have the most beautiful child or the most beautiful children. And I know that you are, so blessed and loving. And all they need sometimes is just someone to not judge them,
Yes.
for having a crying child. And so we can do that. And you can just send this energy out to those little children. And you can do it to animals too. They see it and they pick up on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, well, I love our talks. And I do want to tell people, go to beautifulnetworkofwomen.com. We are planning our next retreat, which is always life-changing. But I'm telling you, Cindy, this one is the top of the top. It is. We have got the best people coming. We have the most beautiful surroundings. We have lots of free time.
And you put it together, what, in 4 days? You just blow me away.
4 days. Yeah.
Well,
you know what?
There's kind of a template now. But
we do. But the other thing is too, Cindy, I've been through this and I'm calling it my near life experience. I didn't die and go to heaven and come back. So it's not a near death, but I almost missed my life by having this huge surgery. And I am so tuned in and tapped in, and I have a lot of free time now. And so I'm just like putting my energy out there. And like we talked about in one of our other coffee chats, we're contagious and we're magnetic and we're drawing it in. So,
and it's what's
really,
in it for us. What's in it for us, the collective, all the women.
All of us.
Bring your beautiful spirit. And don't think about what you're going to get out of it. Think about what you're going to contribute, the friends you're going to make.
People come away, these women come away changed.
They do.
Forever in so many ways we can. And we don't, God knows I can barely change myself if I want to, but we're not changing anybody. We're providing the space for people to really discover who they are.
Bringing awareness to the small things. I love you big.
I love you so much. And we'll talk again real soon, Cindy.
Okay.